Hi, Laura. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience. It's the first time for me.
First time for me as well, so not to worry. Second time, in actual fact, yeah.
We have different people around the globe who are very interesting to listen from you, your story, and something more about your beautiful country. So, as I mentioned before, you had the privilege to pioneer eXp South Africa in August 2020. But and leader eXp South Africa, you have already put yourself in the spotlight for your leadership, for your management skills. But I know that your background is very interesting. Can you tell us a little bit more about your real estate journey, your educational background, and why real estate?
Yeah, Laura, I had the privilege of running a number of hotels here locally in South Africa or Southern Africa, between Zimbabwe, Botswana, and South Africa. And I had huge experience from trainee all the way through making beds, becoming a chef, to running some 31 hotels between Zimbabwe, Botswana, and South Africa. And just loved the experience. But what did happen, you ended up marrying the hotel business as opposed to really looking after your family. So some 250 days away from home, 105 odd flights in a year. And I decided to leave the industry and I decided to join the development game. And I joined a large scale visionary company up the north coast of KwaZulu-Natal, here where I live. And we put on some really large scale mixed use developments, one of them being some BT Eco Estate, some 2,000 housing opportunities with a little added value through estate type of living, secure living environment. And I just really got some really fantastic experience through that visionary developer. And at that particular time, we decided to open a Keller Williams franchise, funny enough. And I was very thankful for that, because what it did is it really opened my eyes to the real estate game. Yes. And what it did do was create a foundation and a base to what I do know today. And I just loved the systems, how it all came together. But then to be approached through eXp Realty and to join this global international network of real estate professionals, and then put the systems and implement the systems, the technology and everything that came with it. I've just loved the experience of having joined eXp and this visionary company with the likes of yourself as leadership of just an amazing company.
Very, very interesting indeed, Andrew. And Andrew, your country is extremely fascinating to my eyes. And due to the easing of restriction, I hope to visit you very soon. Can you tell us more about your country from the tourist point of view? A quick update on a current economic, social, and cultural situation?
Yeah, Ilaria, we can't wait for us to welcome you here in South Africa, and you'll be welcome at any particular stage. I can assure you, you will love our country. 60 million people are part of the population. Just from a real estate point of view, just out of interest, we got about 40,000 real estate professionals in our country. And just a really, really interesting country from a diversification point of view, all the different languages, the communities. I think there are 11 different languages in our country, but you put it all together and you just think, not only the people side, but the dramatic beauty that we have in our country. Some 2,800 kilometers of coastal land, direct access to the ocean, beautiful seas, really tropical environment, very good climate in terms of living environment, but a variety of really interesting aspects to our country. So from winelands to beautiful mountains to natural streams to lakes and really beautiful areas within our environment, and one of the most beautiful cities in the world being Cape Town in particular. But add to that, the big 5 game reserves, the history that comes with our country. I think it's a must-see country in terms of coming to a country, realize the opportunities here from a tourism point of view, and just enjoy the culture, the people, and our natural way of living within a wonderful, wonderful environment.
Wow, can't wait to visit you. I would like to remind to everyone that you can ask live a question to Andrew at the end of my question. I'm sure Andrew will be happy to answer them. Third question for you, Andrew. As I'm concerned, I have seen a great evolution of the real estate market in Europe in the last 10 years. How has the real estate industry evolved in South Africa? And what about your view globally over the past decade, if you can?
Yeah, you know, Ilaria, if you look back at the last 10 years, there have been some tremendous years and months in terms of property investment. There's been some lulls and some dips, but as you know, investment in property goes in cycles. And if you buy property at the right time, your investment is going to be a good investment. So everyone needs to do commercial business, everyone needs to do retail business, and everyone needs to live somewhere and enjoy a lifestyle within the environment that they're staying. I just really believe over the last 10 years, the real estate business in South Africa has shown a really positive foundation for their investors. I think there have been some challenges around commercial, around retail in particular, especially over the last 3 years with the pandemic. You think of hotels standing empty as an example for a 2-year, 2.5-year period. And those kind of commodities and those kind of facilities are certainly up for sale. So a really good investor at the moment will look at commercial properties, will look at retail properties, and will certainly look at the hospitality industry in terms of a good potential buy gearing for the future. So I just really believe, you know, we saw 5 or 6 really good years of real estate. We've seen a lull over the last 3-4 years, but there's been a tremendous movement in the lower end of the residential market here locally in South Africa. And what it's done, especially with the interest rates with the banks, is it's brought a lot of first-time home buyers, which is really interesting for our country, because those first-time home buyers are people that for the first time in their lives, they've had the ability to afford an entry-level home in the environment that they wish to live. And that's what I said earlier. You know, we've got 60 million people in South Africa. The opportunity to diversify our investment opportunities for the people that live in our country, but at the same time, open our doors to an international market that will see the rand value in comparison to their existing currencies as a major draw card for investment within our country. So I really hope this conversation and other future conversations will open the doors to many international investors that might look at South Africa as an investment destination.
I think so. And so we talk about internationality. So I know that XP is your passion now. What is the new opportunity in the industry or with XP as per you?
You know, Ilaria, I just love this collaborative workspace environment. I have never worked in an environment where I've had the ability to work from home. I think it's changing the face of the world as it stands at the present moment. And what you're going to realize through technology is people are going to be able to work from wherever they are in the world. So there's got to be an adjustment to commercial values. There's going to be an adjustment to retail values. Everything can be shopped for on an e-commerce trolley, as an example. And very interesting enough, I just want to mention this. I attended a seminar a little while ago, and they spoke about the fridge in your home becoming extinct. And the reason behind that is your goods are so available, and you can have things delivered to your house in a fresh and faster manner than has ever been done before. So I just see the world changing from this collaborative workspace point of view. eXp for me has just added massive value, and I've loved it over the last 3 years in particular from a point of view that our collaborative workspace is probably the safest environment, possibly the healthiest environment that you can work in. And what better way to work than to be able to be connected? And I know Glenn Sanford has often announced and mentioned about connecting the unconnected. And I just love that saying, because it is certainly the way that the future is going to go. And I really believe that maybe the bricks and mortar businesses in the future are not going to be in such big demand. They will always be in demand, but technology is going to play a vital role forever going forward.
So true. And you talked a little bit before, but we have new attendees to this live. And so another question for you, how do you think South Africa as a market for eXp global growth?
You know, Ilario, we do work on agent attractions around the world. I think every single agent within eXp wants to create a global international network of agents. And the ability for the big networkers around the world to target South Africa as a friendly audience, where agents are energized, where they're excited, where we've got a professional license set up within our country. I think the big networkers around the world, and especially out of USA, Canada, UK, the established countries under the eXp banner, those individuals are going to look towards South Africa in terms of increasing their organization size, increasing their network size, and targeting highly professional and producing agents within our country to join our network. And you will have seen, you know, we just over the 380 count mark in terms of agent count in South Africa. And I really believe, and I know you believe in this as well, with your history, I really believe eXp South Africa will grow to 3,000, 4,000 agents over the next 3 years and become the largest real estate company in South Africa. I also want to just mention, you know, whilst we do want to be the biggest and the best, we also want to be the most personalized. So what I was saying, Ilario, is with the likes of, you know, Amanda Ray, Mark Luca, Ilse Anhauser, Jaco Kriel, Robin Nell, this entire management team in support of our agent team. And our agents are now going out there and telling a really great story. So I really believe that the support from around the world, the support from the leadership of eXp and how our eXp agents operate, we have a good outlook for eXp South Africa over the next 2-3 years.
Amazing, amazing growth view. In your country, when would you recommend investing to clients who show interest in South Africa? And certainly in this live, there are many listeners who are real estate agents. What advice will you give to the real estate agent who want to expand their business in South Africa?
I'll talk first of all from a commercial, retail and hospitality perspective, and there's no better time than now. You know, the big brands that are out there, the big funds that are out there, there's a great opportunity to invest in South Africa now. And the reason why I say that is we had a few issues during last year where the commercial and the retail sector was really hit in a bad way, where we had some activity taking place in our country. I think that has now stabilized, but certainly it has increased the pent-up demand for commercial, retail, and big shopping centers as such. Now, if you take that into consideration, and I did say earlier, the currency conversion, there's no better time to invest in South Africa in those commercial, retail, and hospitality facilities than now. I think it's also wise to try identify a partner on the ground. You don't necessarily want to come into a country or into Africa without having a partner that understands the market locally. So as an investor, I'd reach out to those kind of individuals that have had previous experience within South Africa, use this as a base and possibly extend the marketability of that entity or that company into other countries within Africa itself. The other part of it, Ilario, is most certainly on the top-end product or the top-end market of residential in South Africa. Over the last 3-4 years, under dwindling currency conversion, we've seen some of our top-end homes in the likes of Cape Town, the coastal belt, within KwaZulu-Natal, for example. You've seen some top-end buyers start wanting to sell their stock. And I think there's an opportunity now to realize the benefits of that. And certainly the top-end part of the market is available at a really very good rate at the present moment. And I'm sure a number of our local eXp South Africa agents will be able to assist investors with the right sort of guidance in that regard.
Really interesting. Do you have a curiosity about your country that you'd like to share with listeners?
Ilaria, it was just one experience that I've really had. And when I was in the hotel business, and it was a unique experience for me, I had the great pleasure of welcoming Nelson Mandela into my hotel. And that gentleman just had an aura about him. You could feel him from 20 meters away. Just what an incredible gentleman President Nelson Mandela was. And just my experiences with him, from meeting him in person, having discussions with him, and just an experience that I'll never, ever forget in my entire life. There was a saying that he always used, and it was Umuntu, Gubuntu, Gabantu. And it means, in English, you surround yourself, or you're recognized by the people that you surround yourself with. Oh. And in any business that we go into, and I've seen it through the likes of yourselves, you surround yourself with people that really epitomize what you're all about at the end of the day. And I certainly believe, through our management team, our agent team, the really positive environment that we operate in South Africa, eXp South Africa is certainly going in that direction, where we're surrounding ourselves with a family of real estate professionals and a community of top professionals here locally in South Africa.
Oh, so beautiful. Thank you, Andrew, to share it. And so when I see a beautiful background, real background, and so when do you suggest, in which month do you suggest to come visit your country and enjoy the beauty of your country?
Ilaria, you know, you can come in any month to South Africa, and it is so varied in terms of weather conditions in certain parts of our country. We are a massive country in terms of size. So you can have a really great experience in the winter inland when there's snow. And during the winter months down on the coastline, you can experience really warm weather within KwaZulu-Natal itself. You can go to Cape Town and visit the winelands and have a really wonderful experience through the environment of Cape Town. But at the same time, you can go to a game reserve in September, October, and just experience the big 5 game reserves across South Africa. So, you know, my experience from an investment point of view is, if I want to invest in a country, I will always go visit that country from a tourism point of view. I'll go visit that country, just experience the cultures, the people, a little bit of the legislation, the judicial system, whatever it might be. But if you have a very good experience with the people there, the families, the communities, the cultural side of things, you end up falling in love with that country, and ultimately you end up potentially investing in that country in one way or another. So, Ilaria, if you ever get the opportunity, you will be welcome in South Africa in any month. But if you're targeting specifically big 5 game reserves, for me, the best months are September, October, when it's dry and you see the animals going across, and I'm talking elephants and lions, to the watering holes, and you will just you will have the most memorable experience that you've ever had in terms of a proper game adventure. I think it's very important.
I'm at the end of my questions. I don't know if some listeners asked question for Andrew. I wanna remind you that Andrew Thompson is the leader of eXp South Africa, but he has an amazing background of hospitality, property development, and real estate. Andrew is the right person to keep in touch if you are interested to invest in his beautiful country. Thank you, Andrew, for your time and the opportunity to learn more about your wonderful country. For those who would like to follow me again in this session, Talking With, next month I will host Portugal. Thank you to everybody.